such an asshole.
We got one that Cappy don't know how to swing at this ball. But that's right at Asshole Consulting. Why? The world's only professional asshole. And pioneering, trailblazing, scraping in a new field because it's like, well, I'm setting the standard, and today the standard will be very low. Are you going to do any better? No. You know why? I'm the only asshole out here. So we got one. I've been getting a lot of gals recently coming in. So this is from a nice young lady. Hello, Aaron. Please keep me anonymous. I discovered your videos about 2 years ago and found them very helpful. I'm an 18-year-old girl that recently graduated high school and heading into college for computer science. Good. In January, I'll need no student loans because of money reasons. They can only be proven or earmarked for your education. I was dumped 2 days ago. The relationship lasted a year. All right, so this started when you were 17. I want you to give your opinion on what I did wrong. I met this man a year ago. He seemed perfect. He had a good job and was very good at talking to me. He worked in a legitimate profession. I'm going to try and keep this so anonymous because at the time you were a child, legally. I thought that was pretty cool. We spent a lot of time together and we went on many adventures often. I found that super fun, but there was a problem. He wouldn't introduce me to his family. I thought maybe due to his culture, he was from one country while living in my country. He kept mentioning that he might get deported. All right, so right off the bat, okay, look, okay. I'm only going to talk to you. If any other women want to be intelligent enough to listen to this, I mean intelligent and truly brave and courageous to get over your programming and sit and think things through. Should I take this hammer and bash my hand with it? You know, women today, all of you across the world, because we're in different countries now, it's like, well, it feels good, but you're like, well, I shouldn't do this, but I feel so compelled to hurt myself and bash my hand with the hammer. All right, so listen to me very carefully. He is criminal. Now, not a murderer, not James Bond level criminal, but petty crime. Okay? He's breaking the law. And it's not even that he's criminal. I understand crap hole city or countries. You want to escape, go to a different country that's better while hating on that country, saying my home country is so much better. Yeah, that's why I left. That aside, but it's not mature. It's not responsible. So yeah, I get it. Ooh, he's edgy. He's willing to take risks. It gets the VTs going. All right, but it's not a good guy. I know genetics. Oh, but he's so brave and crazy. He does bad things. Right. And he does stupid decisions. I know one guy back when I was younger. Oh, he was Mr. Popular. He was Mr. Awesome. I mean, this guy had all the girls, and I won't go much into the details. Now the dude's living under a bridge. But man, did girls would just lay their pussy on his altar because he was a bad boy. And I'm not talking like, rebel bad boy. I'm talking bad, genuinely criminal. Oh my God, did that get the VTs going? Wow, I wonder what kind. So going forward, I'm only focusing on you. Going forward, when you hear somebody say, yeah, I got a drug conviction, or yeah, I'm here illegally, or yeah, I filed for bankruptcy, but fuck the system, man. Yeah, I told the pigs to fuck off. All right, I know that shows dominance and you're physically attracted to that guy, but that is not the guy you want to marry. That's not the guy you want to commit to. And I wonder if his incentives and goals and objectives are going to have you even incorporated into that thought and even considered in it. I thought I kept asking why he said it was because he might not pass a particular admissions test. Later, it turns out he was an illegal immigrant. I began to become more pessimistic about the relationship because he wouldn't introduce me to his family. What the fuck is with you and you girls? Like, what? So what? So he doesn't want to introduce you to his family. Fuck off. Jeez. At the time you were 17 or 18, yeah, he's looking at you as a toy. Fun. You're supposed to be fun. What's with the getting married and like now bullshit? Will stating he wanted to have a future with me after a year, and there were instances where we'd go to office parties and not invite me. Yeah, okay. I mean, a lot of this is you're young and innocent, naive. Okay, that's another thing. You're like, but he said X. And here's another lesson. Sometimes people lie. Sometimes they'll say X, and then they do Y. He also wouldn't post anything about me on social media. You know what? He could be married back at home. He could be. Not that I'm an attention whore, but why is he so secretive? All right, let's introduce another comment. Man, you are lucky you hired me because I'm going to give you a bunch of things that if you can understand this, you're going to save yourself a lot of pain and agony. The why doesn't matter. All that matters is what is. And normally I give that advice to men because why? Because it's a switch situation usually. I developed this philosophy, although other people have, Terrence Popp is, it is what it is. No. I had a friend significantly older than me. And I kind of looked up to him like, oh, I can learn things. This guy's really cool. And then I realized he was just normal, actually kind of weak, but it didn't matter. And he had a girl he was dating, significantly older than me. They were both older than me. And I thought, oh, yeah, by that age, once you get gray hair, everyone's mature and they got their shit together. No, dude, they don't. There's a fourth lesson for you. People older, they don't got their shit together. So things are going well, and then for whatever reason, this girl dumped him, and he was crushed. He was beaten. He was like, "What did I do?" And he kept wanting to talk to me about like, "Well, you won't tell me this. You won't." And I never like, dude, what does it matter? It doesn't matter why she dumped you or broke it up. It is what it is. The why doesn't matter. All that matters is what is. And it could be she found another guy. It could be she didn't like him anymore. It could be she was gay. It doesn't matter. And all he was doing was torturing himself under the why. And what I think it is you're under the same problem. You're under the same erroneous assumption. What did I do that's wrong? You're not the only variable. There's a whole other human being here. Like if you're driving down the road and you're not paying attention and you go off the road and hit a tree, that's your fault. Because you're the only independent variable there. You're the only human. There's this whole other human over here. And it could be his fault. There could be nothing wrong with you. And you're like, what did I do? How did I do it? And I understand it's good to have self-reflection. All right. To like, well, what did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong? Because you want to improve. You don't want this to repeat itself. All right. But here's another little thing, switching around the sexes again. Especially when I was younger, every guy goes through this. And I think some women do too, but you're going through this now. You always assume that you're the one that's wrong. One, because it's under your power. Two, it's under your control to then change it. And three, most people I think are humble and they always think I'm the one that did something wrong. Where as you get older, you're going to realize most of the world wants to blame you for shit that they did. And one of the biggest things that got me so pissed off, this bullshit. Well, it's not bullshit. Well, who hurt you? It's like, most of you girls. I don't know if you know about your representatives, but they lie. They stood us up. They strung us along. And instead of saying, hey, I'm going back together with whatever, my ex-boyfriend, or I found a guy who was bigger or taller, had a bigger cock, or I found a richer man. I never really liked you. You're just kind of like the fun guy. All these bitches lied and tortured, said, you know what? You got some mental issues. You know what? You got this. You got that. And it's kind of the same thing what this guy's doing here. He's not telling you it. Now, he didn't accuse you of having mental issues. He probably said, dude, back off. It's my whatever. In the end, it boiled down to the same thing. Not our fault. Something fucked up with these guys. This guy's fucked up, and we already got the evidence of it because he's here illegally. So don't worry about you in this particular instance. Now, don't worry. You're going to make mistakes. There's things you could be doing better, right? You're young. You don't know, and you are making some mistakes no matter what. Everyone's going to make mistakes. But let's be very clear about whose problem it is. It's the guy's fault here. It's not your fault. And when you get older, you're going to start to find out, for the most part, the rest of the world are lying sacks of shit, and they're going to blame you for things. And until you start realizing, this is where intellectual honesty and self-inflicted criticism is very important. Did I do anything wrong? No. Was I honest? Yes. Did I speak clearly as to what I did and did not want, yes, not your fault then. All this shit, all this weird shit, not your fault. Okay, so you stop worrying about it. There's nothing you did. But learning from this experience, let's go forward, is you need to assess very quickly and clearly when you are in the right and when somebody else is in the wrong. And if their behavior is inconsistent, it could be something as simple as this. This doesn't happen to you girls that much. Let me show you. Very common for any guys listening. There is Titsy Magoo. You like Titsy Magoo, and she's in whatever your class at the bar. Doesn't matter. You go up to Titsy Magoo. You say, hey, Titsy Magoo, would you like to go out on Friday night at 7 p.m.? And Titsy Magoo says, oh, my God, Frank, I'd love to. This is such a wonderful romantic story I'm painting. So Frank sets aside, what did I say, 7 p.m. on a Saturday? He sets aside 7 p.m. on a Saturday. He shows up to the place that him and Titsy Magoo agreed to, and Titsy Magoo doesn't show up. Right there. Right there, and this is, I think, a state we're trying to get many young men, perhaps some young women too, is at 7:01 p.m., you know what Frank should do? Leave and get the fuck out. Because it's very, very likely, 70% chance, Titsy Magoo was never going to show up. She's just not going to show up. All right? 2, your time is infinitely valuable. You leave. 3, you don't want to date someone like that. 4, it ain't your fucking fault. And I think the red pill, even as it applies to women here today, I think if we can get to that point where it's like, hey, I honored my word. It's basically about it. I did what I said I was going to do. You didn't. Titsy Magoo did not do what she said she was going to do. Out of here. He said he was going to invite you to the party. He did not invite you to the party. Out of there. Not your fault. Not your problem. And this is a guy you don't want. So you need to critically assess what is and is not your fault. Right? His behavior is not your fault. Not your fault at all. In this particular case. A few weeks earlier, I walked into his car and found a girl's hair elastic with flowers on it. Here's another gal. It clearly wasn't mine. I asked why it was there. He said he had no idea who it belonged to, probably a friend or his roommates. I'm not entirely sure if this is true, but after he proceeded to convince me that I was wrong, decided to believe him and not ruminated about it. Oh, good word, ruminate. It probably was some other gals. Well, it obviously was some other gals. The last argument I had with him was because he did not want to drive me home when he had nothing else to do. They kind of live far out of the city, but I really needed to visit some of my family members. Later that day, I asked for an apology because he kept arguing to do a simple favor that I had no one else to ask. I'm waiting to be able to get my driver's license. Okay, yeah, dude, you got to get your driver's license, man. Don't be a millennial. Okay, I even talk about in this book how not to become a millennial, about like getting the driver's license. Okay, like 26 years old is too late to get a driver's license. So that's your mistake. Why don't you have a driver's license? Why are you dependent upon other people to get rides? This week has been the worst because I have moved away from my family. My sister got pregnant and my mom kicked her out. And I just left because my mom is an alcoholic. Where's dad? We don't need no manfish bicycle. He stated I was nagging him about the family introduction thing because I was distressed about moving out. Well, you are kind of nagging him about it. That's true. But I could see if you want to meet the family, fine. I think he really hates me now because he told me to shut the fuck up when I told him and explain why it would be difficult for him to evade taxes earlier that morning by starting a business by actually having one. All right, so he is criminal. Why do you want this guy? He's a bad boy. I think he'll get over me quickly. Yeah. After watching my sister get pregnant by a jobless man, you girls always, you know what? No offense to you, okay? But to any of you girls listening, fuck you. Just go fuck yourselves. What did he have a throbbing cock? Was he still? Did he have the 6'6"? So we didn't have the figure income, but he was hot, right? And now you got his kid, man. I'm gonna hit myself in the head. Why does it hurt? I decided to remain celibate until marriage. You know what? That's not a bad policy. Given I don't know where your dad is, you haven't mentioned him. Your mom's an alcoholic. Your sister's pregnant with some loser. Thankfully not. I'm going to pay for it because you're in a different country. That's a pretty good policy, I think. Or, you could just go on birth control. It's another thing if you like to have sex. I would give hand jobs in hopes that he wouldn't become frustrated and leave me. Nope. No, big mistake. I understand. You're 18, you're young, okay? Every guy has been there with that girl about that age, okay? This is middle school bullshit. Now, I understand in middle school if you don't want to give hand jobs or have sex, okay? I got that. I can even understand in high school. I can understand if you just don't want to. It's your right, your prerogative, all right? After about the age of 16 or 17, certainly 18, men are like, we better have sex or not. And that's like a deal breaker. If you're not going to have sex, don't even bother with the hand jobs. Don't even bother with don't even bother with it. All right. You should really become religious. Go find some men who also believe in it, which is rare, that you're not going to have sex until marriage. All right. But do not string them along with hand. It's like, oh, I know he wants steak, but I'll give him a stale piece of bread. Here's a hand job. No. Here's a fifth lesson you could take just for you. There's these things called men. And it really is like you don't know that you think they're objects. like they're not capable of agency. Like everything was your fault. This guy was doing all these things and it's my fault. It's like, no, he's a foreigner. He's a separate entity to you and he's sentient. He has agency, he has responsibility. So not all the things going wrong in the relationship is your fault. Sometimes it's his. But along the same lines, like here's a separate human being that is also responsible, 50% responsible for the shit going on in the relationship. That entity has needs. They have preferences. They have desires and wants. And the number... don't know if you knew this. Hope everyone's sitting the fuck down. The number one thing men want is sex. You either give it to them or you don't. Choice is yours. Okay? But be clear. I am going to remain celibate until marriage. Fine. Pass. You're going to save that guy's time. You're going to be intellectually honest. You're going to save yourself some time. I do want to have sex before marriage. Cool. Right? You do not do I only give hand job. No, like there was a chick that did that was 22. I think she was 22 as well. Well, I won't have, and I'm like, no, just get out of here. Just take that fucking middle school bullshit and get the fuck away. All right. And you know what? Be honest with yourself. Do you not like sex? Are you uncomfortable with sex? It's totally understandable. Younger gals, I know, I understand. I get it. I mean, I don't understand. I was never an 18-year-old girl. But you don't do, well, I'll do it. I remember this. This happened so many times. I dated a girl like this for like a year. And the only reason I did that is because like I was so busy working. I think I saw her like once a week. We go to a movie. I'd fall asleep. It was, sex. And then another girl, nice East Indian gal. One of the rare gals to ask me out. You go out with me? What, like dating? Yeah. No. You think I'm cold-hearted now. Punch. Why? And it's like, not that I just ripped out her heart. I said, because you won't have sex, but I'll do a lot of other stuff. Nope. Crunch. She did not talk to me anymore. Anyway, my point is, this strategy of yours, this policy is not going to fly. You are not going to find a man with well, I'll just give you, that is such petty, fucking childish bullshit. You either don't have sex, all right? You're dating and courting, you find a man, marry, it's going to have to be religious, just going to have to be religious. Or you have sex, okay? And if you don't know where you stand on that, you, my young fine lady, are not dating. You're not leading any men along because that's what they want. Right? The only reason we date or tolerate your boring fucking stories. Oh my God. Here's a sixth one. Become interesting. Right? I'm not trying to be angry at you. I'm just trying to give you all these cool cards. I'm trying to give you 6 aces to have up your sleeve that no other women has because they choose not to have it. But here's something, become interesting. Like, study something interesting. I'm not saying, you have to do guy shit, like watch sports and like, oh yeah, did you know that this hockey guy hit the cylinder that many times with this ratio on that year? But find something interesting and say interesting things. Not just your life at the water cooler. Not, again, you're not doing that, but, hopefully get into, you're going to computer science. That's very interesting. Say something. That's good. So go with that. All right. For God's sake, and don't become a leftist. I like my politics. The community is really important. I like to travel. I like dogs. Oh, wow. Yeah, so now you're dating a tax evader. We're trying to think. After watching my sister, okay. I'm neither extremely skinny or fat. I'm 132 pounds and you're 5 feet. You are overweight. You're overweight. Rule number 7. I should have just called this the 7 rules for women who want to hear it, but probably won't because the lies are sweeter tasting by Oprah. You can go through all this bullshit again, all right, of different varieties of flavors with different men and different problems and different caveats and all that, or you could skip over all this, all right? Do you want to be in World War II, World War I? Do you want to be in World War I fighting in the trenches, not knowing what's going on, mustard gas, shells explode, machine gun fire, trench warfare? Or do you want to fly way above it and just be dropping bombs so you can see what the fuck is going on? And the reason you get the fuck above it and you fly above the chaos is you just be pretty. Okay? You should be about, at 5 feet, you should be 100. Lose the weight. And what that is going to do is it's going to get guys to get the fuck in line and do what you want. All right? They're going to do what you want. Now, it's up to you being an individual again. Are you going to lord that power over them? Are you going to make them dance like little monkeys and stretch them along or string them along? You could do that if you want, but you're not a good person then. But if you want to avoid all this basically soap opera drama, be what men want. Be hot. Again, the concept of another entity, another sentient entity, another human being, he has preferences, wants, and desires. He has choice. All right? And I don't know how hard this is. I mean, this is so commonly spoken of within the red pill. Oh, men in this world hate women. Really? Is that why we always advocate eating healthy, going to the gym, being attractive, and delivering exactly what women are? It's selfless. And I don't know if it's necessarily morally selfless. It's just thinking of the other person, acknowledging, well, that woman has certain wants, desires, and needs, certain standards. Well, we should meet those standards. You gals are so delusional. You think you're going to shame men into accepting and being attracted to fat chicks. Now, you're not fat. You're right. But you ain't hot. You're overweight by about 30 pounds. Now, I'm going to say this once, and I hope you listen to it because it's going to save you more energy and time down there. Tons of it and a lot of headache. You will spend less calories of energy losing weight and keeping the weight off than you will trying to find a man that you're attracted to when you're overweight. It's going to be easier for your love life and your mental life to be thin than it is for you to have a successful and happy romantic love life than to not be thin. I don't care if that hurts your feeling. I know you're a little bit more based in computer engineering major. I think you're logically understand this. But for the 2 or 3 other women that want to meet the guys, all right, and not run into this bullshit where you're dating criminals and tax evaders, all right, who are fucked in the head apparently. If you want to avoid all this drama, it's very simple, and it's going to be a lot less energy and effort. Be hot. That's it. That's all you have to do. Because then it's like you're going to have so many guys of pretty good quality, too, throwing themselves at you. You don't have to worry about this bullshit anymore. This was my first relationship. Thank you. All right. I think it was built on lies. Yes, so that's why it fell apart. Yeah. And then you tell me he's 10 years older than you. I'm sorry. Is that not a red flag? You do not have a dad. I can tell you don't have a dad. I think, and you know what? This guy, I rarely say this, dude. I rarely say it because it's such an overused. This guy sounds like a predator. Okay? Like a legit one. Not, like he was handsy on the dance floor or he was grooming me. Here's a guy 10 years your senior. And you were 17 at the time when you guys met, or like you were freshly 18. All right, now I know you're a legal adult, but this guy has got a decade of fucking experience on you. And he's looking for a young, dumb, naive girl. And you're not that hot. That's basically what this is. I don't know what he got out of you. You didn't have sex with him. That's another reason he might have left or found another girl. Being honest. But there was something that, like when I was 27, I mean, of course, oh yeah, look at that 18-year-old. But yeah, you're still like in high school. She graduated high school. She didn't graduate from. No, she took a high school and she graduated it. She owns the high school. What can I do in the future to avoid such situations where I'm misguided by a person into believing that they are truly serious, or what did I do wrong? Okay, you didn't really do anything morally wrong. Okay, what you really get, dude? You really want to help on this or help yourself out on this? You consume all of Rollo Tomasi's stuff, Rich Cooper's stuff. You tune into my podcast or whatever. That might be a lot. All right, this is how guys are what you should look for, and you can reverse engineer the same. But man, you cannot. 27? I understand if it's like to go have fun, all right? But no. And another thing you did wrong, like this family shit. Where's your family? I want to meet the family. What are you, in a rush to get married? You don't even have a fucking degree. Not even fucking working. Not even out of the house. Or maybe you are out of the house now. You haven't even lived. Go figure out who the fuck you are and get a fucking job and support yourself. And by the way, before you get married and run off and have a group of kids, why don't you go live a little? I'm not saying become the eat, pray, love gal. You fucking know you're a blank slate. You're 18. Develop some character. Figure out who you are. A great, probably the best first step you get is majoring in computer engineering. I think that's great. That's an awesome step. You have the potential to become a very great woman here. All right. But you got to become that woman first. It looks like you're trying to find a man to define you and give you value. No. And you chose the completely wrong guy. So you got to learn what you could do. Detect flags. Like a guy who's here illegally. Probably a bad idea. A guy significantly older than you. Like if you were 25 or 30, all right, I understand then you got the wisdom, like maybe you could date a 40, 45-year-old. I mean, it happens, but it's rare. But dude, right out of high school, there's something wrong with that, man. Something's wrong. So you got to look out for that. And then tax evasion and this petty fucking bullshit. Talk about flying over the trench warfare. I need a ride. Motherfucker, at 18 years old, I never needed a ride. Why? Because I made sure I had some fucking transportation. All these guys that get, should I bring a girl home? What do you mean, should you bring a girl home? Of course, but my parents live there. Your parents live at your house? You're supporting it? Well, no, I live at home with my parents. Well, fuck, sucks to be you then. That's not my problem. Fly above the trenches. Put in the effort to get a plane together. In your case, be thin, get a good education, get a good career, and not deal with this shit anymore. This is like dealing with trailer trash. It's like, it's just not, don't deal with this filth. And the quickest way, lose the weight, get a great degree. Boom, you're halfway dedicated to it. And then anytime you see, and you know what, maybe it wouldn't be bad if you joined a church or a religion. And you were serious about that no sex thing. I mean, it's not a guarantee. A lot of guys in the church and religion in general are cucks. They're pussies. But you find like an orthodox, old school, hardcore. Again, I'm for women being pastors, but I don't trust no church or religion where the women are pastors, because you then must have changed something in the rules and the laws, and you're swayed by popularity. Find an old school, fire and brimstone, you're all going to burn, traditional Orthodox something. Orthodox Jew, Catholic Orthodox, Orthodox Muslim. I don't know if there's such a thing as Orthodox Muslim, but find it. And go there. Maybe you'll find this guy and, we'll wait till marriage. What can I do in the future? Avoid such issues. Yeah. So I would say you date, you don't commit. Doesn't sound like there's any, like you should date. Date a lot. Date a lot of guys. Don't commit to anyone. And then how to identify people that are truly serious. You don't know words. Fuck their words. What do they do? Okay? You never. Titsy Magoo didn't show up on time. Well, fuck Titsy Magoo. She can't show up on time, or she's a liar. She's a liar, right? This guy is lying to you. Oh gosh, he dumped you. Oh, they're too bad. Oh, darn. But then also, it sounds like you want to be dependent on somebody. Oh, I need him for a ride. And I want to meet your fam. What the fuck? Don't you have anything else going on in life? No, you're 18, just like every other 18-year-old. Now go find something fucking to do in life so you're not dependent on men to fill in the void. You're not dependent on other people's to define who you are and give you value. That creates dependency. Who would often call me a bitch. Perhaps there's some truth to it. No, he's a... Really? A tax evader, criminal, illegal immigrant calls you a bitch, is fucking some other gal on the side. Admittedly, though, you won't fuck him. So, hopefully he did call you a bitch, because if a piece of shit like that called me a great man, oh man, I'd feel like, what the fuck did I do wrong? You are not a bitch. I'll tell you that much, dear. You're not. I mean, you're nice. You're kind. You're majoring in the right thing. You're just young and naive. I don't get the impression that you're like this, mean girls. Like, I was the most popular girl. Yeah, I'm going to make the other one. Maybe. You have no attitude. I have a hard time in it because I went to school, though I didn't major in computer science. I worked at the computer science building. And all the nice girls there that were in engineering, they were nice. They were very nice. That's a sincere, legit. And so you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. When you're this guy's age, 48 years from now, however, kidding. But when you're his age, hopefully you got a little bit more experience. Hopefully you make your own money. You've extracted yourself from this fucking shithole family you got going on. Maybe you visit, but you're not like, you're not an alcoholic like your mom, or you're not a single mom like your sister. And you're like making your 60 or 70 grand a year, and you got a little bit of money. And maybe go travel, and you go here, go there. You have some fun. Maybe you get into a hobby. You brew wine, distill wine, or whatever you do with wine. You go kayak, whatever it is you do. Then you're going to have your own life. And you're going to look back and say, oh, yeah, that guy was a piece of shit dirtbag. Thank God I didn't get, and thank God I lost weight. And now I got this really hot guy I really want to have sex with. I don't want to just give him hand jobs. This guy's hot. I want to ride that dick like fucking jockey on a horse. And then, the hell's that? Oh, no coffee mug. And then things will be a lot easier. Okay? It's whatever lies and bullshit the women are telling you about men should just love you for who you are. That's all lies. Right? And if you start believing those lies, you're going to quickly misdiagnose every problem, especially when a scumbag comes along like this. So for one, you can date guys. You're not committing to any of them. Two, if you're not going to have sex, be upfront about that and not do this hand job, half-ass shit. Do or do not. Do or do not. There's no try. It's an old joke. You'll never get it. Go live your life. Develop yourself as a personality. Create a core. Stop relying on other people. So you have your own personality, your own you. And then maybe don't do this as a hard line, okay? When you're 25, and you've dated several guys, and you realize just how good or bad the selection of men is out there, then start worrying about committing. All right? But you want your problems to go away? You want your problems? You want your date? Ladies, everyone, hey, ladies. That's another thing no one's going to get. If you want your dating problems to go away, go make yourself thin. Boom. All that time you've read Vanity Fair or Boldy or Condé Nast publication, whatever, bippity bopsity, the bippity bopsity bitch. Listen, girlfriend, I am the table. Okay. All that time and effort you just pissed away on that. All right. Dedicate that instead to studying computer engineering and then be thin. But now, I have spoken. I gave you 7 rules, maybe 8. Follow them. And then in 5 years' time, 5. Let's try 4. 4 years' time, you see if you aren't in a better spot. I don't know. Share this with your female friends. Oh, Cappy, you think you're going to help out the Womans. Oh, foolish Cappy. Muhammad Akhtar. Should I cheat on my online schoolwork or will I be prosecuted? Well, if you get caught, you will be. Yeah. Well, this is what I would do. I'm not recommending you do this. It's just what I would do. If I am, okay, hang on. If you are in a serious field like medicine and you're looking at an 8-year investment, do all your fucking papers yourself. If you're majoring in business or some fucked up tarded shit like that, yeah, go ahead. Fine. And pay someone to do your papers. All right. But then just don't get caught. That's another thing, man. Don't get caught. But it really, like if I was going to med school, yeah, I wouldn't be fucking around with that shit. If I was going to become an actuary or some kind of prestigious, like if that marred me for life, I wouldn't. But if I was like getting my MBA, even accounting, I wouldn't fuck with it. Computer engineering, computer science, I wouldn't fuck with because those are legit professions. But if you're majoring, honestly, if you're majoring in anything else like the liberal arts or sociology or general business, shit, pay anyone. You don't even know why you're at school. Go get a fake degree out of Pakistan. You know, go claim you have a degree from a school that is recently closed, where HR can't look up because the school closed. So that's just what I would do. But if you want, you can go academiccomposition.com. Check out my buddy Alex over there. Boo. Benevolence for $2. Sarah McBride is the first trans U.S. senator. Good for her. Yay. It's like, what are we going to do 20 years from now? Frank Filbertson is the first transsexual, pansexual guy to stand on the moon with the left foot first. Is this how we're going to get, is this what the awards are going to become? Well, the first human that did it like 100 years ago. But this guy with this eye color who's left-handed on Tuesdays, he's the first one to do it. Then that cat, oh, yay. Mike Honcho, $5. Here's my money before the government takes it. Yes, if all of you would like to give me your money before the government takes it. But keep in mind, when you give me the money, the government's just going to take half of it from me. Or maybe not half. I'm not in that. I wish I was in that high of a tax bracket. James G, $5. Thoughts on dating multiple women across the city or state or USA? Is it wrong to go with married women or women already in relationships? Sex is key. Interesting moral question. I have my Machiavellian answer, and then I have maybe a bit more of a practical answer, but let's go. There's nothing wrong with dating as many women as you want. As long as you're not committed, as long as you're not you stated, we are in an exclusive relationship, whether that's marriage or engagement, or just a we's for realsies. This is for realsies. So yeah, date as many women as you want. I say it's mandatory. And there's nothing wrong with dating women in a different city or state. As a matter of fact, I say that's the modern day dating strategies. You need to to find quality people. There are so few quality people. You need the complaint I go, well, I've literally had this great gal. Buddy lives on one side of Twin Cities. Gal lives on the other side. Hey, there's this cool gal you might. She's all the way at Woodbury. Oh, yeah, because love isn't worth 40 minutes, right? Because fuck that shit. Yeah, that bitch has got to be like 5 miles away from you on the bus line too, right? And since the quality and caliber of men and women has just gone down the fucking toilet, you have got to be willing. Look, there's not really any dating anymore. And why I say men should not be going on dinner dates or anything like that. You take that money, you find a really good girl that looks good on paper, and you fly the fuck out there to visit her and check out the area while you're at it. And you're going to save money like that. It's the same thing. Do you want to marry a girl to have sex or just pay a prostitute? But if you didn't know, paying a prostitute's a lot cheaper if your goal is sex. All right, I'm saying the dynamics have changed. The quality's changed. You got to go cast a why I didn't find that. Find some good quality candidates. Well, I met this really interesting girl in Phoenix. She likes to hike. She's a computer engineering major. Oh, but she's in Phoenix. If only there was like really fast cylindrical things with wings that went through the air very fast to get you from one point to another at reasonable and affordable rates. Then you could meet that girl in Phoenix. But since such a thing doesn't exist, so then is it wrong to go with married women or women already in relationships? Here's what my Machiavellian answer is. No. Because if a woman is married or taken or otherwise stated and she's looking, it's the classic, well, if it's not going to be me, it's going to be somebody else. The moral decision has been removed from it. It's a chick. She wants to fuck other people. Fine. Now, some guys would say, dude, like you're hurting some guy, da. True. I understand. And sometimes that's caught me and wrestled with me a little bit. But if you date enough women, and not to mention, you've seen how many people get divorced, not to mention how cucky everyone seems to be. It's kind of like, dude, there's no marriage anymore. This is just you people going out, going through a ceremony. And no one is really, this is not the 1950s. This is just, I don't know. This is make-believe. This is cargo cult marriage. No one's serious. The girls aren't. If I got the opportunity, yeah. And back when in my day, I was teaching ballroom dance. Of course. Sexually frustrated woman. I'm going to take that. How many women came out because their husband wouldn't go ballroom dancing with them? Fine. I'll take your reasonably still attractive wife off your hands for a little bit. Sure. I know class only went till 8, but she didn't get back till 10 because of advanced courses. Right. Sure. Whatever. But then of a more practical concern is like, what if this guy gets a shotgun and comes after you? That's possible too. Yeah. Back when men had balls in the 50s, maybe I would have worried about that. Yeah, not so much. Because people get divorced anyway. I'm sorry. After seeing everyone just shit and piss on marriage, I really have no respect for it. And the number of gals that said, I have a boyfriend, and then 2 weeks later be dating a different guy. Fuck it. I mean, it's the epitomal example of she's not your woman. It's just your turn. So if sex is key, yeah. But I mean, protect yourself a little bit. Like, I wouldn't bang your neighbor's wife. I'd have a fake profile. Your name is Chad Elkins and you live in Chicago. And then you go around the country banging other guys' wives. Oh, poor Chad. What are you talking about? What? Hi. Will you be my friend? Oh, cool. You want to go to the bar? Why is there a gun in my face? Don't do that to Chad. Do it to Atham. God, we'd be brutal. If we all had money, we'd be brutal to one another. Oh, come on. There's more. I thought there was more. I don't want to miss any. Okay, there's James. What do you do? I scroll. Miguel Angel Casillas for $2. Oh, Cappy, so adorable. Trying to help the girl at... I gotta look. Oh, and Donovan bought. By the way, go check up. Everyone go subscribe to Donovan Sharp stuff right now. Reason why this guy's the nicest guy. He's helped me with all these different things. Spent time. He makes a lot of money. He didn't have to waste his time on me. He's flying me out first class. First fucking class. In this big cylindrical things with the wings that goes very fast through the air. And then he got me a hotel room as well. He didn't have to do that, but he did. Nice guy. Go check out his shit. I'll be on his show tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jerry Oaksmith for $10 nice. You forgot to tell her trusting him to pull out is not a very proactive form of birth control. Jerry, I already did more fathering and older brothering on that poor girl who never had a dad or an older brother kick her ass. That if she even follows half of the advice of what I just gave, she's going to do better than 99% of the women out there. And I'm not my brother's keeper, but yeah, dear, if you're still listening, don't get pregnant. If you do get pregnant, for God's sake, get an abortion. Don't put your kid through fucking that until you have a husband around. Oh my God, are you pro-abortion? I am pro not torturing children that are unwanted by keeping them alive. As your broke up, fucked up, divorced, if ever married family tries to, quote, raise your children. Scott Ludke, $1.99. Here's some money for the septic tank. Thank you, Scott. So we're slowly creeping in on that septic tank. And Robert Flores for $5. Maybe the BF was gay and was using her as a short-term beard. What's that? Is that a term? And he moves on to another beard before suspicious by young girls arrive. I am somewhat familiar with the gay community, only because I have friends in the gay community, but I've never heard the term beard. I don't know what a beard is. All right, that's it. I got to get, I think, one more of these in. I got to catch a flight. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.